Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long time since I've uploaded another video, but I had just finished like maybe a week ago this book by Alexis Henderson called An Academy for Liars, and after reading this book I can safely say that I am someone who really likes this author's writing. I really appreciate the way she incorporates all of her characters to have some sort of role, and I really appreciate like the work that she puts into either research or into creating a novel that ends with a neat little bow tied at the end. There really wasn't any more that I wanted from this book. I didn't even take notes while reading this because I just wanted to like fall in love with the characters and not think hard and just like see where Henderson takes me as part of her story. And instead of me just, continuing on speaking about this book, about how much I love it, let me tell you about the synopsis for this novel. Landon Carter's life is falling apart. Then she gets a mysterious phone call inviting her to take the entrance exam for Drayton College, a school of magic hidden in a secret pocket of Savannah. Lennon has been chosen because, like everyone else at the school, she has the innate gift of persuasion, the ability to wield her will like a weapon, using it to control others and, in rare cases, matter itself. After passing the test, Lennon begins to learn how to master her devastating and unsettling power, but despite persuasion's heavy toll on her body and mind, she is wholly captivated by her studies, by Drayton's lush, moss-draped campus, and by her brilliant classmates. But even more captivating is her charismatic advisor, Dante, who both intimidates and enthralls her. As Lennon continues in her studies, her control grows, and she starts to uncover more about the secret world she has entered into, including the disquieting history of Drayton College and the way her mentor's tragic and violent past intertwines with it. She is increasingly disturbed by what she learns, for it seems that the ultimate test is to embrace absolute power without succumbing to corruption, and it's a test she's terrified she's going to fail. And so we kind of have that we have the high stakes, we have a magical school, we have very mysterious faculty, and we have mysterious classmates, and all of those things are, kind of synonymous with dark academia right now, which, if you watch my other video about how dark academia, dark academia, I don't really care for. But, of course, as always, there's exceptions to the rule. I loved the way that this book took dark academia. It really leaned into the dark part. I really like this book because I think she does something very well with her books that other authors, in my opinion, I'm just not a big fan of. And it's not to say that their writing is bad or anything, it's just that I am not their target audience. So let me get more into detail. I'm not going to talk too much about the plot and the characters for An Academy for Liars. This is going to be a little bit different as to why it's just like one of the reasons why I think Alexis Henderson is like one of my favorite authors. She is a Black author, and she primarily writes characters or protagonists that are either Black, half Black, or whatever. So it's like kind of like really important to the character's identity and to the story that she is a Black character, or he or she is a Black character. Now we have books. I'm gonna not really throw this author under the bus, it's just I am not her target audience. We have this book, Babel, by rfkuang. I have made peace with myself that unless it's a wholly fantasy setting, not tied to modern times at all, I cannot read her books. It is just not for me. And this is the reason why is actually the biggest difference between these two authors. Now, both of these authors, there are similarities. They have written books that have POC as the main characters. Most notably, R.F. Kuang has her main characters are almost always Asian. I think always Asian, and Alexis Henderson always has a Black person play her protagonist. And so another thing that they have in common is that they both tackle racism and elitism and like kind of like hierarchy, kind of like systems within their books, albeit in RF Kuang does it in a much more heavy-handed way than Alexis Henderson does it. I can't read RF Kuang because she writes out all of her like all of the like racist microaggressions. She fully details why they are wrong, why it is racist, and she has like it's basically like she holds your hand through those interactions in the book to get you to understand why it is bad, why it is racist, etc., etc. It kind of reminds me of like The Hate You Give, which is another book I cannot read because, well, one reason is because I think the author cannot write teenagers very well. That's all I'll say. But also that whole book is also like, you know, holding the reader's hand, being like, "Here, honey, let me show you why this is bad." And I am not someone that needs someone to tell me that because, you know, I myself am Asian. I myself like I keep up to, you know, I keep up to date with the news, you know, with all of the political and social climates, etc. I don't need that. Of course, like that doesn't mean that I can't always learn more. It just means that this level of writing is like for like baby's first lesson racism kind of thing, and I am not in that beginner level. So there's a reason why I have not been able to finish Babel, even though I love dark academia and I think R.F. Kuang is an excellent author. Because I've also read Poppy War, the first book of her debut series, and I really enjoyed that. Did I finish it? No, but you know I think she's like brilliant and she's amazing. But I cannot finish this because it's just so much hand holding, and I am not someone that needs that, so I'm not her target audience. But Alexis Henderson, she does it in a much more subtle way, like the way you would find in the real world. If someone is, you know, saying a remark to you that is, you know, a microaggression, as the recipient you would be able to kind of like understand that and then move on, or however else you want to deal with it, rather than, you know, kind of stop and be like, why is this a microaggression, you know? So I find Alexis Henderson's like depiction of racism and classism and all of that stuff to be a lot more realistic in the way that it is subtle. It is not, yes, it is both in your face, but also like, oh, here is like the reasons why it is bad, is kind of like already inherent. Like you don't like she doesn't dissect it down for you, and I love that. Her other book, which I finished, I really liked, is A House of Hunger. Okay, I love this profile picture of her. Like it fully encompasses like what she likes to write about. She likes to write about witches, vampires, and dark stuff, and I love her. So I read House of Hunger, which I another book I loved. It is about vampires, lesbian vampires, and I really enjoyed like kind of all of the themes in this book is just amazing. Like, you want to talk about how POC sometimes have to latch themselves onto white characters, white, powerful, rich people, in order to like kind of reap their benefits as well. Even though you are like still in a subservient kind of role, like I could go into so much detail about like the themes of this book, and it's so gorgeous. But I will not, because it's not about that. I just think she's like super underrated. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. She is not like a more popular author. Like, okay, fine. You're listening to me going, okay, Sandra, well, some of these books, like, they have a decent amount of ratings. And I'm like, yeah, sure. But I'm not getting the amount of like hype that, you know, some, you know, basic Leigh Bardugo or Lee Bardugo, just like other authors that definitely do not write as well. Like they they're like writing off of their high from like that one super popular series that they wrote like decades ago, and they're still writing it. And whereas this girl is like cranking out banger after banger after 2 years. I need to read Year of the Witching, actually. I'm sure I'm gonna like it just as much. But, and you know, the reason why, okay, Goodreads has a problem, or reviewers in general, in booktok, in booktube, whatever, their problem is that if it doesn't have a white protagonist, they're gonna rate it lower. Another microaggression. Like, some people say, like, oh, they need like some sort of relatability to like a book, which I'm like, that's really dumb. I don't relate to a witch, I don't relate to a vampire, I'm just a normal human. Why do you need to relate, right? Also, I'm Asian, and all of these books that are being published, like 90% of the books being published, are all featuring white people. Does that mean I'm gonna dislike every single book that I read that has a white person? No, that doesn't mean it. I'm able to disassociate my current identity to read other books, to read like other people's like life experiences. It's easy, guys. It's not hard. Anyway, I don't want to go on too long about this tangent, but I am a ride or die Alexis Henderson. I am so willing, like, I like her so much. I'm willing to buy both of these books, like House of Hunger and Academy for Liars. I'm just like not a big fan of the cover for an Academy for Liars, so I'm gonna wait to see if she does like a cover re-release or something. But House of Hunger, I love that. I love that cover so much. It is so gorgeous. I'd be down to buy it. But anyway, that's all I have for today. It's gonna be a very short video today compared to my other videos. But yeah, see you guys soon, and hopefully I can come back with like another deep review video. I don't know. Anyway, like and subscribe. Bye!